Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have, I want to say, 10 days until the NFL draft. We're getting some more clarity, not only where these rookies are actually going to go in terms of their draft capital, but also potential landing spots. So you have rookies moving up and down draft boards. Of course, they will be included in this startup draft. As I pull this bad boy up here, you better be dropping a like on this. You better be subscribed to the channel. And of course, if you want to get my Dynasty rankings, which we just updated this morning, if you want to get my Dynasty research book, over 100 pages of strategy on how you should exactly adjust your format, how to rebuild, how to contend, the whole 9 yards. It's over 100 pages. If you want to get access to all your favorite Dynasty creators, they're all in one place, flogfantasy.com. You can, of course, go down there and find that link in the comment section, the description, the live chat. Also, everybody in this draft here is a member of flogfantasy.com. So thank you, everyone here, for being a member of the Flog. Let's go ahead and let's pull this bad boy up. And Noah out in the chat says, I was the 9th like, WTF. Y'all are getting quick. Yes. So Noah, of course, thank you for everything. I am excited to get the new studio set up. That way we can put those signs back up. But yeah, you got to get quicker than that, my friend. We are getting, I want to say, a little more intense as we get closer into the draft. Zach says he's not getting these notifications. I'm sorry, my man. I'm sorry. Brian says, I just had a startup drafted Mahomes, Fields, CMC, Jacobs, Henry, Cup, Tyreek Hill. I'm assuming you don't have any 2024 first, any 2025 first. What I do have is the ability to draft Jalen Hurts. The reason we are getting the 103 in this draft is specifically because, hell, Jalen Hurts signs a massive contract extension about, I want to say, 3 hours ago. And at this point, I think that you have to have Jalen Hurts locked into a top 3 pick if he was not already. So I'm going to be excited to take Jalen Hurts, and I kind of wanted to take him because of the contract day. It was pretty exciting. Luke says, does Jalen Hurts move up to pick 3 now? Yeah, I definitely think the man has to, right? I mean, if he wasn't at 3 already, he definitely is now. John says, Burrow is down and Hurts is up. I've seen those new rankings. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, my man, for being a member of the flock. And yeah, going through and looking at the rest of this draft, we have Justin Fields again going at pick 8. So if I'm going to pull up flogfantasy.com, I'm actually sharing my Safari window right now, so I can't do it there. But if I'm going to pull up flogfantasy.com, you'll see that all the other analysts we have Justin Fields ranked high enough where in aggregate on the site, yeah, I mean, he is pretty high up there. Now, let me go ahead and let me pull up where he is on flogfantasy.com compared to where I personally have him in my rankings, because you know it's not a Flog Fantasy video if we are not talking about Justin Fields for no apparent reason. So just pulling this up right now on the site, he is ranked as the 10th overall player, but that is because my rankings have him down a little bit. I personally have Justin Fields down at 14. So honestly, if you take out my ranking of 14 and you just look at the guys at Dynasty Land Football, if you just look at the guys at Fantasy Stock Exchange, Fantasy Endgame, they're saying that Fields should be about pick 8, pick 9. Like I said, I think that he's more so that early to mid second rounder. I still definitely prefer Jamar Chase. Like if you're picking at 9 and you're able to get Jamar Chase, I think that is just such a strong start that you should be really excited about, of course. I mean, you're kind of upset that you got picked 9 and you weren't able to get an elite level quarterback anyway. James says, what's up, Flock? Love your channel. You're amazing. Love the content. No, thank you so much, my man, for hanging out and being a member of the Flock. Okay. Now we have Deshaun Watson, 202, Breece Hall, 201. Not too much to discuss outside of maybe Lamar Jackson's falling a bit here. Like similarly to Justin Fields, if you look at the overall rankings on flogfantasy.com with everybody, averaged Lamar Jackson ranking is the 8th player off the board. Now, I personally have him a little bit lower than everybody else in Dynasty. I have Lamar Jackson at 13, so I have him as that early to mid second round startup pick. Now, I'll say in a best ball format, in a redraft league, I'm all in on Lamar Jackson. I think he could be the #1 overall quarterback this next year, but maybe I'm ignorant to say this, but I think that you have to be concerned about how his playing style in particular translates to when he's 30 years old compared to some of the other guys that you're looking at here. Okay, but let's pull this list up, see what we are going to be looking at. So after going Jalen Hurts at the 103, what I can actually do is just pull up flowingfantasy.com and sort by my rankings here. So we don't have to multitask and we don't have to be trying to fire off at the hip. I think we have, I don't want to say a clear pick here, but I think I know who we have highest in our rankings. And yeah, we didn't even have to pull up this site to know this. We are going to go ahead. Oh, no, shoot. Never mind. Yeah, now we are going to get the opportunity. We're going to take Kenneth Walker at the 210. I think you can make an argument. Well, Mason, should we just be going ahead, taking JT? We've seen a ceiling from Jonathan Taylor that we haven't necessarily seen from Kenneth Walker before. I'm going to go with the younger asset. I'm going to go with someone that I'm very comfortable about contending with this next season or building around the long term. If I'm looking at my rankings and comparing Kenneth Walker and Amon-Ra St. Brown, oh, I actually have Amon-Ra St. Brown at 18, Kenneth Walker 19. So we have these guys back to back. I think you can pretty much do whatever you want here. So let's see what we are going to be getting on the way back around at the beginning of the third. I'm sorry if I'm looking at my phone. I just want to make sure we have our rankings up. Okay, Brian says, Bijan in the first round is absurd. I hope he busts so everyone taking him early regrets it. I mean, I've seen the Saquon Barkley year. I've seen 2018 when a rookie running back's going in round one of startups, and I'm sitting there going, oh, okay, are we sure we should be doing this? The man hasn't stepped on an NFL field. We don't know the landing spot, blah, blah, blah. And then, yes, I mean, Saquon Barkley was clearly worth that first-round selection. With Bijan, I'm fine if you want to take him late round one, early round two. I mean, the man's literally going round one in redraft formats. He's going round one on underdog just for this next season. Okay, so now I think we are going to go ahead and make a pick that maybe not too many people are going to agree with. I don't really care. We are going to go ahead. We are going to take T. Higgins here. Get a little bit of a balanced approach going with the elite level quarterback, grabbing a running back that's still on his rookie deal that we can be confident about for, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. I didn't even see Olave was still available. Oh, this is not a hot start, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not that upset with the T. Higgins selection. Like, Higgins is still fine. Now, if you would ask me who I prefer between Chris Olave and T. Higgins, I'm going to prefer Chris Olave. I have Chris Olave ranked higher. I mean, I would know that the second I look at the two. So, yeah, John out here laughing at us. Yeah, we are just embarrassing ourselves through the first three rounds. Thank God we gave ourselves pick 3 overall. That way we couldn't embarrass ourselves in round 1, because if so, it'd be a little tough. Sebastian coming out with a donation. Thank you so much, my man. Says, trying to move some wide receivers as a part of a larger deal. Can you rank Treylon Burks, Rondale Moore, Tony Pickens, Jameson Williams in terms of pure upside? Okay, if we're going to go through and look at these guys in terms of pure raw upside, I think we go Jameson Williams 1, Treylon Burks 2, George Pickens 3, Kadarius Toney 4, Rondale Moore 5. I actually liked Rondale Moore as a prospect, but I would say that if you're looking at Rondale Moore and what he's done through the first 2 years of his NFL career, you can't even put him in the same class as these other players. I mean, maybe you make the same argument saying Mason, Kadarius Toney really hasn't done anything. Kadarius Toney's really only flashed. But at the same time, if we're looking at the difference between Kadarius Toney and Rondale Moore, one of them's going to be stuck in Arizona with an injured quarterback with an uncertain coaching staff. But clearly behind at least Hollywood Brown. I mean, assuming that Hopkins is traded, maybe Rondale Moore is the wide receiver 2 there. Whereas if you look at Kadarius Toney, I mean, while, yeah, he's definitely flamed out through the first 2 years of his NFL career, at the same time, he's attached to Patrick Mahomes. He's attached to Andy Reid. There's absolutely nobody in terms of the wide receiver depth in his own offense. So, yeah, let me repeat myself here. In terms of pure upside, we're going upside, upside, upside. Jameson Williams, Treylon Burks, Kadarius Toney, George Pickens, then Rondale Moore. But thank you so much, my man, again, for being a member of the flock and supporting the channel. Okay. But we have Tyreek Hill, 312, Devonta Smith, 311, Drake London, 310. Not too much to discuss here in terms of, oh, I really don't like this pick. I think we should have gone somewhere else. I would say Kelsey, in my mind, at the 309 is very rich. I mean, y'all know I've been drafting the hell out of Travis Kelsey in redraft over the past few seasons, but this is the first year now that Kelsey is older than he's ever been. Yes, I did the math on that one. It is true. And now that nobody is concerned about Travis Kelsey's age because he's coming off a phenomenal season, I feel like this is the time to kind of get out on Travis Kelsey If you're looking at my rankings, I personally have Travis Kelce ranked as the 47th player overall off the board. I mean, if you're looking at my ranking of Travis Kelce, I definitely have Jackson Smith-Njigba, Daniel Jones, Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Drake London, all over him. So really, that's the only thing that we can point out there. But I don't know. In my mind, when we're taking Kelce at the 309, maybe it's comparable like taking CMC where you're going, okay, yeah, I'm looking for 2 more years of elite level production. But in my mind, when you have great players on the board like a Devonta Smith, then you're going to get strong production from this upcoming season as well as the long-term value. It's just not the kind of pick I'm looking to make. Okay. Mikey says he agrees with the rankings of those wide receivers that we had earlier. Okay, thank you, my man. Thank you. Okay, so Christian Watson goes 405, Saquon Barkley 406. Ooh. Rob says JSN 101. Oh, dear God, my friend. I love me some Jackson Smith-Njigba. To talk about him as the 101, though, that is too rich for my liking. You can't have him next to Bijan. You just literally can't. Okay, let's swing around here, try to figure out where we're going next. Okay, I think I know what we're doing. Yeah, I know where we're going, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Andrews goes 409. Andrews was going to be one of those players that we were looking at. We were either going to be taking Mark Andrews or TJ Hawkinson. Like, to be honest with you, I know this maybe seems pretty aggressive. I know y'all are not going to like this. I have TJ Hawkinson ranked so damn high that I have Hawkinson ranked ahead of Travis Kelce in Dynasty now. Like, Hawkinson, in my mind, you're not getting Kelce level production this next season, but you are getting top end level production from Travis Kelce. I'm sorry, from TJ Hawkinson this next year. I'm not going to be surprised at all if TJ Hawkinson's a top 3 tight end. And at the same time, if we're looking at TJ Hawkinson with his long-term value proposition, the man's 25. The man's not 34. So I don't know. I like going Hawkinson there. I could easily be wrong, but it is what it is. And our next pick, I bet you are going to hate it. We'll see if we end up getting him, but Will Levis goes 502. Actually, no, yeah, Will Levis was going to be our selection. Now we have to pivot. Let me pull up my rankings ASAP, and let's scramble to find someone else that we can be going with here. Najee's off the board. We can't go with Najee Harris. Did Lance go? Yeah, Lance went. Oh, we are going to panic, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead. We will take Davante Adams here. If you're looking at my ranking, I have Davante Adams ranked at 50th. And if you're going to be looking at comparison to where I have the rookies, I have Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison at 52 and 53. So I don't think it's like a no-brainer decision to go through and take Davante Adams at the 503. We're a little bit hurried. If you're looking at Jameson Williams, I have Jameson Williams 56. But if you are going to look at flockfantasy.com's overall ranking, so included are all your favorite dynasty analysts, there you actually have Davante Adams a little bit higher than I have him. They actually have Davante Adams at 46 overall. Okay, Bobcat coming out with a donation. Thank you, my man. Says, hey, Mason, hope it's going well, friend. How do you feel about hammering running backs? I mean, hammer running backs fading away and slowly turning into committee RBs. So essentially looking at maybe Alvin Kamara and saying, okay, Kamara is not going to fall off a cliff entirely. Alvin Kamara instead is going to transition over to being a running back, seeing 70% of his backfield to maybe a running back seeing 40% of his backfield. And instead of assuming that he's going to be a mid running back 1, and maybe he instead's going to be a running back 3. And of course, you can copy and paste that same thing with pretty much all the 2017 running backs not named Christian McCaffrey. Maybe you look at Aaron Jones through the same lens, Joe Mixon through the same lens. I will say, my friend, I am almost positive you're a member of flockfantasy.com. Go to the draft guide portion of flockfantasy.com. Check out the Dynasty research book that we put out. What you will see at the running back position that you don't really see at others is when a player loses it, they lose it. When a player loses it, it's not like they tend to go from being a running back 1 to then a running back 2, then long-term a running back 3. In reality, it's a lot more like, okay, they're a running back 1 this season. They're a running back 3 next season, and then they're not startable the year after that. So I don't know. I mean, maybe I need to revisit that research. Those numbers that we had were from 2014 to 2021. Maybe things are going to be changing. If I were to make a bet on the running backs that were going to be able to make that transition, I would bet on the pass catchers, right? I would bet on Christian McCaffrey. I would bet on Austin Eckler. Those are the guys that I think could slowly fade out rather than fall off a cliff in comparison to maybe the running backs that went off of athleticism. Whereas maybe with Derrick Henry, that's a player that just falls off a cliff entirely. Whereas with CMC, he does transition to just being a pure passing down running back, or with Eckler, maybe he transitions to being a pure passing down back. But Dennis says, Mason, you looking relaxed these days. Guess that new house found a new you. Appreciate all the hard work, man. Keep up the amazing work. Much love, fam. No, thank you so much, my friend, for being a member of the vlog. And yeah, I mean, I can definitely relax a little more. Y'all know, like, during the football season, I mean, I live stream for like 200 days in a row, every single day, like 4 to 5 hour live streams on top of putting out videos every single day. On the back end, we have been building out and developing flockfantasy.com for a very, very long time and working to get all of that situated. So it was a hectic time over the past 6 or so months, but definitely things have slowed. And also, like, we moved, so that was a big stressor. But yeah, it's slowed down a bit. I'm definitely really enjoying making these videos. And honestly, I know I'm annoying with flockfantasy.com, but I've talked about this before and I'll always talk about it. But it's like the first time in my entire career where I feel very confident that I've built something great, and I'm very confident that I'm providing value to everybody involved. Like, I feel, and I talk about this all the time in my personal life. Everybody that knows me personally is tired of hearing me talk about it. But I mean, I feel like we're providing a ton of value for the creators on the site, for the developers of the site, for the audience, the people actually going and joining the site. So yeah, I'm having a ton of fun, essentially. Feel like we're in a really good place. But here, let's figure out where we are going to be going. Okay, so I think if we're going to be looking at our rankings, we may make a selection that a lot of people are not going to like. Okay, no, he goes right before us. I'm right. Javonte Williams goes. Is Dotson available? Oh, dear God. We're on a tangent. Jahan Dotson, please. Did we get him? I'm going Jahan Dotson. There, we had him. We had him. Okay, yeah. Maybe we missed the mark there by half a second. I'm giving him to us anyway. Okay, I'm not making another mistake in this one because we were on some tangent. But Dameon Pierce going directly after us at the 6'11". If you're looking at my ranking of Dotson versus Dameon Pierce, they are in a very similar range. I have Jahan Dotson ranked at 64 overall, and I have Dameon Pierce ranked at 70th overall. So yeah, we have those players similarly ranked. If you're looking at George Pickens, I'm a little bit lower on George Pickens than most. The average ranking across flockfantasy.com has Pickens at 62, whereas I have George Pickens at 72. Okay. Hollywood Brown goes. What is going? Oh, okay. I was looking at the top of ADP and was like, why does it look like this? But it's because we had dot typed out. So it's like, oh, okay. I think we're going to be looking at 2 players here, one of whom we've been saying to go through and sell when you get the opportunity. But at this price point, I think that he is a fine selection. So Ayuk goes off the board. Based on my understanding of how this draft is going, I think we'll be able to find running back value later on. If you're looking at my rankings, I have Nick Chubb as well as DJ Moore in a very similar range. I have DJ Moore ranked 2 spots ahead of him. I'm going to go through and I'm going to take DJ Moore here. And yes, I've been going through and saying to sell DJ Moore in Dynasty. But what have we been saying to sell DJ Moore for? The second he was traded to Chicago and everybody was like, finally, he got a real quarterback, which in my mind, it was a worse situation, but we don't need to go down that road again. We are saying to sell DJ Moore for pick 8, for pick 9 in a super flex league. If you could go trade him for either pick 7, 8, 9, you'd be in a great spot where if we broke down the tiers, you'd be looking at bringing in Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison, and we had a ton of people in the Discord reaching out to us saying they were actually able to go out there and sell DJ Moore for that 107, for that 108, for that 109. And if you traded for that 108, if you traded for that 109, who are the 8th and 9th rookies off the board in this startup draft? Quentin Johnston and Jordan Addison. Here, they go at the 505. They go at the 509. So they go like 20, 30 picks before we get DJ Moore at the 703. So if I had to pick a price point on where we are betting in on DJ Moore, 703 seems like a fine one to do so. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's take DJ Moore. I like the Geno Smith. I like the Derek Carr selections. I mean, definitely those were quarterbacks that we would have easily taken if they would have fallen back to us in the 8th round. Obviously, we no longer have that option, but we still definitely have a need at the quarterback position in general. Okay. Mossy coming out says, first time in a draft with you at pick 6. Okay, let's go ahead and let's check out this draft so far. So pick 6, starting off with Lawrence, Dak Prescott, a quarterback. Running back, we have Etienne, DeAndre Swift. So if a Swift would have fallen to me at the end of the 6th, I personally would have taken DeAndre Swift. Obviously, at this point in Dynasty is kind of like a falling knife, but still, I think the price point is going to be fine. Going Diggs at 407, Judy 506, Calvin Ridley 706. I don't have too many complaints with this team whatsoever. Maybe there are a few different selections I would have made differently, but nothing that's too important. Okay. Brandon says Quentin Johnston at the 505 feels a little early. Yeah, so Quentin Johnston, big story is that he doesn't get invited to round 1 of the NFL draft, which obviously doesn't look great, but end of the day, only 17 players are going to go. Still a player where I think you have, I don't know. I still prefer Quentin Johnston over Jordan Addison. 505, honestly, I'm fine with Quentin Johnston there. Middle of the 5th round, I'm fine with Johnston. I'm fine with Addison. I think they both have red flags on their profiles, but also both have strong points. Okay, so Jordan Love, Mac Jones go. Okay, so Jordan Love would have been a great pick to make it back to us. Now that we don't have that option, it looks like we are just going to have to take some veteran QBs. I honestly don't know if we would take any in the 8th round in comparison to some of the other players that we have available to us at other positions. Yeah, so let's pull up my rankings. I feel like we are kind of stuck in no man's land. Okay, I think I know what we're doing with our next pick, even if I don't like it. Rachaad White goes. Yeah, so I know what we're doing with our next one. Gucci Broomstick says, I was at pick 2, wasn't confident in choosing DJ Moore over Brandon Ayuk. Completely understand why you would want to pass on DJ Moore. Completely understand. John says he loves the Rachaad White selection. Rachaad White isn't exactly who we were looking at. I would have taken Zay Flowers if he would have fallen to us. Let me just confirm that this is my guy here. I think. I don't consider myself a big Isaiah Pacheco guy. And going back to what we were talking about with the video we just made on Dameon Pierce, what have I been known for with this channel ever since we started? To immediately sell day 3 running backs when they flash. Because historically speaking, we're selling James Robinson during his rookie season. We're selling Elijah Mitchell during his rookie season before the teams go out there and invest into other running backs, because if you're a day 3 pick, you really don't have any investment. But I feel like it's hard for us to say that's the right thing to do right now, just given the fact that everybody's doing it. Okay, with Isaiah Pacheco here, it's a running back that has no team investment. So, of course, a massive red flag. They can bring in more competition. But to be fair, if we were to build out a bullish case for him, this is a running back that just had a really strong end to his rookie season and projects to be the starting running back this next year for the best offense in the NFL as a year 2 player. So I think we are going to go ahead and take Pacheco there. It's like I never thought this offseason I'd be the guy advocating for, okay, Dameon Pierce is a decent value. Isaiah Pacheco is a decent value. Rachaad White's a decent value. Tyler Allgeier's a decent value. Because in years past, I've been screaming to sell those guys. I was screaming to sell those guys back in December. But I don't know. I just feel like the Dynasty community has changed so much. Darren Waller goes off the board. I think we probably end up going with the quarterback here. If we're going to be looking at our QB rankings, let's pull these up just so I can give you an idea of exactly where we have these players. Are we sorted by mine? Yeah, we're sorted by mine here. I personally have the next highest guy being Matthew Stafford as our quarterback 28. So we're going to go ahead. We are going to take Stafford here. Our QBs after that would be Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo. I have them all actually ranked back to back to back. I have Stafford ranked at 95 overall, Brock Purdy ranked at 96 overall, and Jimmy Garoppolo ranked at 97 overall. So we will take Stafford at the beginning of the ninth, hoping for a bounce back not only from Stafford himself, but also the entire Los Angeles Rams roster, hoping that they're a little healthier and they're actually able to try to compete this next season. Okay. Taylor says Miles Sanders in the 8th after signing a 4-year deal, ? Okay, so let me show you what the quote-unquote 4-year deal looks like for Miles Sanders here, because while you'll see that headline, right, every single time a player goes through and signs a new contract, you'll see the big number, you'll see the amount of years, and we'll go, okay, well, I guess he signs a 4-year, $25 million deal, where in reality, that's not how NFL contracts work. In reality, with NFL contracts, especially those second deals, really the only thing that's going to matter will be the guaranteed money. And if we're looking at the guaranteed money, it's going to be a 2-year deal. It's essentially the same thing for pretty much any non-quarterback or non-elite level player in the NFL, where with Miles Sanders in particular, this team could decide to go out there and save over $5 million after 2024 by moving on from him, which honestly probably is the expectation. So with Miles Sanders, don't think it's a 4-year deal in Carolina. Don't think he's going to be playing until he's 30 as a Carolina Panther. It's more so a 2-year deal. I'm not saying that Miles Sanders is a bad value where he went, just more so explaining the thought process on how that works overall. Texas Made says, hit the like, 190 viewers, only 60 likes. First off, Hogan Lawrence, let's go Texas. Second off, thank you, my man, for shouting us out. Yes, make sure you're dropping a like on the live stream if you have not done so already. I didn't even notice. You're from the 210? My man, you know that's my area code. You know that's mine. But Tyler Allgeier going off the board at the 9-11. James Cook at the 9-10. We need to switch over off the quarterback position and see if there are going to be any other values making it to us. So Dalvin Cook, 70. I know there's been some rumors centering around maybe Dalvin Cook not being in Minnesota this next year. In reality, I hate to go back to this because we just got done talking about it when we select Isaiah Pacheco with 8-10. This is the year where you want to be taking those running backs that don't have a lot of team investment, but found success their rookie season. I understand, yes, it's entirely possible the Atlanta Falcons go through and draft Bijan Robinson this next season. But if you're looking at the end of the year that Tyler Allgeier had, and the fact that he's going at the end of the 9th, the fact that Tyler Allgeier is going after Zach Evans, in my mind, that is a no-brainer selection. I'm going to be extremely excited to go through and take Tyler Allgeier there. I'd be excited to take James Cook there. I mean, I would love Sean Tucker to get NFL draft capital and to have a shot this next season. Like, I like a lot of the boxes Sean Tucker checks. But if we're looking at James Cook, Tyler Allgeier, like in the same range as Zach Evans, Sean Tucker, in my mind, it should not be that way at all. They should be going way above those rookie running backs. Like in my mind, you are praying that Zach Evans turns into Tyler Allgeier. We're praying that Sean Tucker turns into James Cook. A.J. Dillon goes to the 10-07. Love the A.J. Dillon selection as well. So Dalton Kincaid goes before Michael Mayer here. Roshan Johnson's still available. David Montgomery, great value at the 10-08. If I were to pull up my rankings, I can almost guarantee we have Montgomery way higher than this. Okay, yeah, let's pull up my rankings here. Okay, so we actually get a gift in my mind. We are going to be able to get Jimmy G making it back around to us. Maybe if you look at my rankings, we have Brock Purdy. Maybe we have Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't care. For me to be caught taking Brock Purdy on a live stream, ooh, that would be detrimental. I can't do that when I'm the head of the Trey Lance fan club. You know how much money Trey Lance's agent pays me to hype up Trey Lance? You know what that kind of contract looks like? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. So I'm not allowed to legally take Brock Purdy on a live stream. So we will go with Jimmy Garoppolo here when we desperately need a quarterback. Let's go ahead and let's look at this entire draft board. So at QB, we have Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, Jimmy G. Running back, we have Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Pacheco. Wide receiver, we have T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, Jahan Dotson, and DJ Moore. So I like the team. I mean, I think this is a team that has a couple different things going for it. I think this is a team that could be a contender this next year, could be building around the long-term pieces such as the first 4 guys we take and Jahan Dotson, and then sell some of those veterans if we really needed to. Okay. John says, got a 5-year deal with Trey Lance's agent. Yeah, you better believe it, my friend. I'm looking for the extension as well. I'm looking for the extension. Now, Gabe Davis off the board, so I'm probably going to make this selection and then have to immediately private this live stream so Trey Lance's agent doesn't see it. But we will go Brock Purdy at the 11:03. Do I believe Brock Purdy is the starting quarterback for the 49ers this next season? Most likely not. Do I think it is a possibility? Yes. Do I think it's a possibility the 49ers trade Trey Lance, send him to Green Bay, send him to Tampa, send him to Tennessee, send him anywhere, and then start Brock Purdy? It is in the range of outcomes. It's a possibility. I don't think it's the most likely thing. I think the most likely thing is Trey Lance is the starting quarterback this next season. So, of course, it's all about the price point that you were getting the player at. And I think in the 11th round, it's a fine shot to take on Brock Purdy here. Okay, Greg Dulcich goes at the 11:08. James says, do you live stream at the same time every day? No, I do not, my friend. I probably should, but honestly, we got too much to do to commit to a single time every day. So instead, we are more so bouncing around with how we do these live streams. If we do the roster breakdown live streams for the new members of flockfantasy.com with promo code FLOCK, those are usually at night. If we're going to do a Dynasty startup draft like this, usually it'll be more so around like 1 p.m. Central. Okay. Now, Tyler Lockett goes the 11:10. Okay, what are we doing here? Tank Bigsby. Okay, I think I know who we want falling to us. The thing is, we need to come up with a backup plan because I doubt he does. Jan out here, of course, always happy to see. My man says, Joe Mixon or Aaron Jones in 2023. I think given the restructured deal that you get from Aaron Jones, and given the fact that also with Aaron Jones, this is a running back that did not get phased out in his own offense down the stretch, as you saw last year with Joe Mixon versus Samaje Perine in the playoffs. I think we're probably going to go ahead. I think we are probably going to be taking Aaron Jones. Like, it's sad to say it. I mean, I can go through and I can pull up the underdog ADP because in reality, if I were to bet anybody's rankings versus underdog ADP for 2023 projections, I would say underdog's ADP will be more accurate than maybe like 75% of expert rankings. Like, underdog's ADP is just so damn sharp. Okay. Where can we find this? I'm not going to search for this right now. Jayan says, Mixon also went to OU, so boo, yes. And I mean, you had Aaron Jones at UTEP, so of course it's not University of Texas at Austin. It's University of Texas at El Paso. So it's not as good, of course, but it is what it is. Now, Darnell Mooney goes to the 1207. Brennan says, no rookies, question mark. My rookie target was going to be Roschon Johnson. I was really hoping we were going to get Roschon Johnson coming back around to us in the 12th. Maybe we take a rookie just to take a rookie here. We'll see if we find anybody that we like. You know, a lot of people like Kondre Miller. I mean, this is a running back that's not athletic. It's a running back that doesn't catch the ball. So I don't exactly know why people like him so much. Going over to wide receiver, I'm not taking any of these rookie wide receivers in this range. Maybe make the argument to go Darnell Washington. In reality, Khalil Herbert goes. Phenomenal selection of Khalil Herbert at the 1209. I'm not even a big Khalil Herbert guy, but I mean, I think that's just the easiest pick ever to make here. I don't think we go QB. We'll go ahead. We'll take another tight end. We will take Dawson Knox. I think you can make an argument for Darnell Washington, but I don't want to break our rule of not drafting rookie tight ends. So here's the overall draft board. Of course, thank you for being a member of the flock and hanging out with us during this live stream. If you have not done so already, make sure you go down there, you drop a like on the stream, and make sure you have a great day. That's all I got for you. Thank you for everything. Have some exciting new announcements coming on flockfantasy.com. Have some merch going in your direction as well. But thank you for everything, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you have a great day and really hope we get to see you with the video tomorrow.